Hello everyone, it's Amza here, and in this video I'm going to be walking you through how to self-host class from my home on DigitalOcean or any other VPS. So yeah, the first thing to do is to go to the navigation, then come to self-hosting here, click on DigitalOcean, yeah, because that's exactly what we want to work on. So right now, you can deploy Classroom IO to Docker, Railway, Qualify, Deploy, understand? So to properly follow along with this, you have to ensure that you have a VPS. It could be on DigitalOcean, like this tutorial is going to be on, or it could be on Ethernet or any other VPS that you have. So yeah, you need SSH access to it. The domain you can control a DNS record that points to your droplet public IP. You understand? Just ensure that all this is configured. But in this particular video now, I'm not going to be using an actual domain. I'm going to be using sslip.io, public wildcard DNS service. Yeah. So this is helpful for those that probably don't have a domain at the moment and still want to follow along with the tutorial. Yeah, I'm just going to dive into it. So I already have my terminal here. Let me zoom out a bit. Then I'm going to SSH into my server. So nice. I now have access into my server now. So the first thing to do is to set your domain. So IPv4. Okay. So let me just come to my DigitalOcean to copy the IP address of my droplets here. So ideally what you have to do is just copy this and paste this here. So I'm going to edit this to my droplet IP. Let me pause. So nice. I've copied my IP address now. I'm just going to replace it here. So this has set it properly there. The next thing for me to do is going to be add user and all of that. I already have that configured, so I don't need that. I'm going to skip that step. Firewall and swap, I already did this. Yeah, this is just to like provide your server with some level of security. Then I have Docker installed also. Docker dash v. Yeah, so I'm not going to do this also. But all these are there because in case it's your what's it called? It's your first time setting this up. Yeah, just so you can also follow along. So now this particular command now basically what it does is that it creates a directory, cd into it, then copy the Docker Compose image from GitHub. Understand? So the next thing for us is going to be to ls. So if you ls now, you can see now that we are currently in the classroom IO directory. Now we have Docker Compose.images.yaml. Yeah. Then the next thing will be to create an environment variable. So the way this works is that we are printing these informations here into the .env file. You understand? Yeah. So then with this dollar sign, you notice earlier we set our variable domain. So what happens here is that as this domain is set, it's just going to be appended here, like expected. So let me copy this. Nice. Let me clear. Then I'm going to open the editor and edit other variables because if you can see here, SMTP we don't have the appropriate value there. So I'm going to like open my VI editor and open .env and make necessary adjustments where it's needed. So I'm going to pause for a while and come back. So nice. Done setting this. Yeah, that's done. So what I'm going to do now is just scan through the whole environment variable. Notice we have Classroom version 1 to be this. And yeah. So all I'm going to do is escape colon W here So then fill in your SMTP with nano.cmv. It's almost the same thing, but it's like a different editor. And I use VI here. So the next thing to do is going to be to add CADI and close the internal ports. So right now, each of the customer will runs on his own port number, the dashboard on 3082, and leave two problem. Nobody wants to visit a site with port blah blah blah. So that helps us with solving that. So all I'm going to do is just copy this command, paste it here. Then this is setting up the reverse proxy also. Yeah. So nice. The next thing to do is to download the image. I mean, we already have this guy here. We already have the Docker Compose YAML. We already have the Docker Compose images. So now we need to create an alias. Yeah, so that's what we're currently doing here. So echo alias DC. So this creates an alias called DC, and the value for the alias is all that we have here. Basically, it's a Docker Compose command, you understand? So right now we have Redis, Postgres, JAWS, menu, init, API, dashboard, and CADI as our services. So now instead of running all these long this, all I'm going to do is just DC pull. So what that does is that it pulls all the services from Docker Hub. While that is up, okay, nice, interesting. So it's came already. And the next thing for me to do is going to be to run this command. So in your case, it might take longer than this, but because this is not my first time running it, so DC hop the and nice. Let's wait for it to come up. Let me pause this. Yeah, nice. So this is what we have. So you can see now everything is starting up properly. So I'm going to just do DC PS. Actually, don't need that because I already know this is working fine. Yeah. The next thing for me to do is going to uh, come here, initialize menu, and now it says menu bucket created successfully. Check if the certificate is here and nothing. So successfully identify blah blah blah, and yeah, confirm nothing is exposed. Now confirm nothing internal is exposed. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So the next thing for me to do is just to come to the what's it called? Let me just cut it. Cat.env. Nice. So what do I need? This is what I need. I need the dashboard origin. So just going to copy this and come here, open the URL, and let's see moment of truth. It's taking a while. Just going to post it for a while. So the next thing to do is to come here and sign up. Yes, so the next thing to do is to verify my email. Just going to check my mail. Nice. So the email has been verified successfully. And voila. So you can come here, come to your organization, and add a new team member or any of that. So the subsequent sign up on this uh, guy, they are all going to have a default role of students. So if you have any question, don't forget to ask. And yes, see you in the next one.